share with you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So overall, how many years of experience you have in Oracle Fusion or EBS?
Uh, uh, is this the interview question or you're just asking
Yeah.
me to get to know?
Yeah. We have started.
Okay. Okay. So I have 4.8 years of experience in Oracle Fusion. My other experiences were from testing and SAP. So the last 4.5 years, I've been working in Oracle Fusion.
Into financial domain, right? Finance domain,
Yes, Oracle Fusion Financials and to the functional side.
functional side. So you have worked in all the modules, right? All the core financial module. Or in
Yeah,
which?
I have worked in GL, AP, AR, but AR fixed assets, I have not worked much as I've worked in GL and AP.
Okay. So in this work, like 3.5 years of experience, like any implementation, end-to-end implementation support project you have done, how many?
Actually, I was supporting the implementation project. I was not into a support project as such, but it was an implement project. But I have not been directly involved into implementation. But I have supported the implementation team.
Yeah, but you have to tell that support means you are into implementation only. So
Okay.
you can tell him that, tell the interviewer, like, yeah, so I have involved in implementation. Maybe I'm not directly interacting with the client, but I was part
Okay.
of the project.
Okay.
So, so that otherwise, if you say like I'm supporting the implementation, so it is bit confusing. You can tell
Okay.
because in the one implementation project, some of the
Mm-hmm.
members they will directly interact with client and they will gather the requirement and give it to you. So that
Okay.
whether it will be like resources which will they will document the requirement, they can prepare the setup document, test scripts, etc., and
Mm.
test all the UAT system testing, everything they can do.
Okay.
So can you tell me what are the implementation steps actually, like implementation life cycles? You said that you have worked in involved in implementation, end-to-end
Yeah. So first we would gather the requirements, and then we have the CRP sessions. It could be 3 or 4 CRP session based on the client, where we just tell the client how it's going to look for them when they use Oracle Fusion for the features that they want, and then they would come back with more refining of the requirement. So we finalize what the client wants in the CRP sessions, and then we start the implementation, and then we go for UAT, and then and then we do the cutoff for the change to production server, and then
So how you gather the requirement? How in implementation? How you'll know the as is process of the client?
we have a requirement gathering document that's a BR100,
BR
and
hundred.
based
BR100 is not a requirement gathering document. So do you know like what the questionnaire documents, like standard questionnaire
no.
text which we can ask users?
Mm, no, I don't know.
Yeah. So so there is a questionnaire document for each and every modules, each track that you can send and share it to the client, and they will answer all these questions.
Is it
How
a standard document given by Oracle?
it's a standard document, and also you can prepare the document.
Okay.
So based on the tracks you are working,
Mm-hmm.
there will be some standard questions like how many, for example, in GL, how you are maintaining your enterprise reporting, financial reporting,
Is
and
it provided by Oracle?
In Oracle, this document, questionnaire document is there, sample document.
Okay.
But every implementation, you can ask some questions, standard questions to the client.
Okay.
That you have to prepare. And
Okay.
based on that questionnaires, you prepare the requirement document. You will understand
Okay.
that, so this is the requirement. Then
Mm-hmm.
you'll understand the as-is process of the business.
Okay.
Then you can document the to be process. To be process means what exactly you want to implement in Oracle, because they are in the legacy system, it's as-is process, and what will be the
Okay.
to be process. And you know what is fit gap analysis, right?
Fit gap analysis, as per my understanding, is the legacy system might have a different way of representing their accounting, and then when they move to Oracle, uh, there may be a difference in how it's being handled. So we need to see what the difference and how we can accommodate that in our system, Oracle Fusion.
Yeah, so fit gap analysis is comparison between as-is process and to be process.
Okay.
So your as a consultant, your responsibility is to bridge that gap. Is there any gap which is not meeting the requirement? In that case, you have to customize. This is the first
No.
step which requirement. There will be kick-off meeting, what you said initially. Then we have
Mhm.
requirement, understanding the requirement and prepare the requirement documents. Then you
Mhm.
have to analyze the fit gap analysis documents. Like what are the, how many gaps we have when we are
Mhm.
comparing. For example, currently suppose they are doing the payment manually or check payment. Now they
Mhm.
integrate direct integration with the bank with the integration, like Oracle integration or S2H payment process. So that if we
Mhm.
want to transmit a payment file to bank, so how you can achieve
Mhm.
that? So that things you have to analyze through PTF process. Like so what will we need, what additional report and customization we need when you are going
Mhm.
to integrate the Oracle payment module
Okay.
to the bank. So that is called
Okay.
S2S payment. So that's one example. Similarly, reports. What are the, when you are questionnaire process, you will ask how many reports you are uh, using currently. For example, invoice report, invoice print report,
Mhm.
customer invoice print report. Oracle has to provide a standard templates, but that will not meet the
Mhm.
requirement. You have to design as per the customer requirement, like
Mhm.
where will be the logo, what
Mhm.
fields and information you need, where is the tax registration number, how many
Mhm.
columns we need in that, and there should be a specific format you have to develop.
Mhm.
So all these
Okay.
things, so you once you analyze the fit gap, the next phase will be
Okay.
the design phase.
But how is this check payment in the Access system, and then you have electronic payment in Oracle is a fit gap? I don't understand that. It's
No,
only an added requirement, right?
yeah, added requirement, but suppose they are doing the, in legacy system, they are doing the check payment and electronic payment, but
Mm-hmm.
it's they are not recording. In the legacy system, there is no direct integration.
Okay.
They
Okay.
are manually recording the things. They are making the payments, but
Mm-hmm.
legacy system, the file is not transmitting directly to the
Okay.
bank.
Okay.
So in this case, you can directly, there is functionality available so that you can directly integrate Oracle
Okay.
system to bank system, banking system.
Okay.
This is just one example. There can be
Mhm.
from each module there will be different requirement,
Okay.
and so design phase. Then design phase, after design phase we have you document the process everything. Then UAT, STS, and then transition, and then go live. Like that you can mention. Yeah.
Okay.
So how you rate yourself in GL module?
I can rate 6 out of 10.
Okay. So do you know like what is accounting flexible or key flexible?
Flex field, I actually forgot. It's a field that what you cannot capture in segments, and you want to capture more information.
Yeah. So key flexible. You know accounting flexible, right?
Yeah.
What is accounting flexible?
Accounting flex field where we have all the accounting information.
Not accounting information. So
Accounting.
what is COA? Chart of
Chart
account.
of, uh,
What is chart of account?
chart of account is where you have all the values. I mean, we have a structure. We have a value set and a structure and then structure instance, and then you have values.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is called accounting flexible. So accounting flexible is a key flexible, and using that flexible, you can design our financial reporting structure, which is called chart of account structure, right?
Okay.
Why it is called flexible? Because it's flexible enough to uh, maintain or you can achieve what are the client's financial reporting requirement. Like up to 30 segment you can create, right?
Yeah.
So what are the, can you tell me the key components of chart of account when you are going to create your chart of account? What are the setups I need?
So before creating a chart of account, you need to have your enterprise structure, a legal entity, and you have to have your legislative data group and assign it to the legal entity, and then you have to create your currency calendar, and then you have to create the value set and for the chart of account that you want to create, and then you have to create the structure with mandatory segments, primary balancing segment, and natural account. And based on the client requirement, we can have other segments. And then you have to create a structure instance, and then you have to deploy it, and then create values for the value sets.
Okay. So in recently, in your recent project, can you
Mhm.
tell me what you designed like in your chart of account? How many segments are there?
We had a primary balancing, I mean, company,
Yes.
department, account,
Mhm.
then future one and future two.
Okay, so there is no other segment.
No.
So how you manage the product? For example, I want to get my financial reporting based on the product or service provided by the client. How can I do that? Or okay, that's all. So
Okay.
whenever this question is asked, so this is the
Mhm.
what you told, like three segments, mandatory segment. But
Mhm.
in real time, we'll get some two, three more segments. It's
Okay.
not only natural accounting and balancing and cost center. So these three are minimum.
Mm.
But in real time, actually, it will need three or more segments to capture the reportings or additional business elements.
Okay.
So in that way, you have to prepare one scenario, like at least like a region, based on region, I want reporting based on products and
Okay.
based on projects. So depends on the kind of business they are operating, and based on that,
Okay.
you can design your accounting flexibility. If you say only three segment, that means it's the standard one you are telling, and
Hmm.
it will not create much impact on the interviewer. So,
Okay.
okay. So now next question is, uh, any idea on consolidation?
Consolidation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have different ledgers with different currencies,
Mhm.
and then you want to merge all of them to one ledger for reporting purpose, then we do consolidation. For doing the consolidations, the ledgers with different currencies have to be first translated and brought to one currency, and then you create the consolidation ledger.
Okay. So suppose I have one my clients, they are operating in different uh, continent,
Mm-hmm.
and I have one business in USA, and I have three legal entity, and I have two business in Europe, one in Germany and one in UK, and another in Asia, India and China. So there are five locations we have business. Two in
Mm-hmm.
two in Europe, two in Asia, and two in
Mm-hmm.
America.
Okay.
In each of the business we have different legal entity. Like
Okay.
in America, I have three legal entity. In
Mm-hmm.
Europe, I have five legal entity, and in Asia, I have four legal entity. So can you tell me how many balancing segment code I need for my company code or balancing segment code? I need to define.
Mm. I think it will still be five only. I mean, if there are three legal entities, you'll still have one ledger, right?
Yeah, one ledger is fine. That's fine.
Mm.
Country specific. So that means if I have three legal entity in USA, I can manage with one ledger, right?
Yeah.
So how many balancing segment I need for USA? Balancing segment value or company code value?
You value can be three.
Value will be three.
Yeah.
That was my question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And for Europe, how many ledger I need?
You will have still you will still need one ledger with two company values.
Why one ledger? Because I have one in Germany and one in UK, right? How can manage where the currency is different, right?
Okay. Yeah. In
Yes.
that case, you need two different legal entity, two different ledgers.
Right. So UK currency is GBP and
Okay.
Germany is EUR.
Okay.
And for India, how many ledgers I need? Sorry, Asia.
How many legal entity did you say for that?
For legal entity for India and for in China.
One or four?
Four.
Four.
Yeah.
Even though I mean India, it's throughout its INR, so you'll still need one primary ledger
Yeah.
and four legal entity.
Okay.
And SCR, I'm thinking the same. I don't know about the country.
Okay. Okay. So can I do the intercompany within
Mm-hmm.
across legal entity? Sorry, across ledger.
Can you repeat the question?
Can I, you know, AGS, intercompany, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Can I do the intercompany transactions across ledger intercompany transaction? For example,
Yes, you can.
I can do, right?
Yeah.
what are the setups required? AGS setup.
You have to have an intercompany field in chart of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know.
Okay. Focus on that intercompany configuration.
Okay.
So in each interview, they will ask, because currently in most of the multinational company, they use intercompany.
Suppose, I forget, and if I tell them, no, I'm not used intercompany, is it okay? Or
Yeah, you can tell whatever you don't know.
Mm,
You can tell I don't
okay.
know. I have not worked. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just as a part of mock interview, I am giving you suggestion, like you can focus on.
Yeah. I'll study. I mean, like, there may be questions even outside of this, right? So I was just trying to understand if it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So I want to my
Mm-hmm.
in this current example, I have business in like my corporate office or a registered office in USA, and
Okay.
I have also operating in India operation in India with Indian ledgers and currency is INR. But all my
Okay.
ledgers which are outside of America,
Mm-hmm.
they want to report in other currency, I mean USD currency. How can achieve that?
They can use reporting ledger,
Okay.
and yeah, they can
Reporting
report in USD.
USD.
Yeah.
How it will work reporting ledgers? For example,
You have to you can set, when you create a reporting ledger, you can set at what level you want to have this currency conversion. So if you say journal level, then every time you create a journal in your INR, there's a parallelly journal created in USD. It's replicated as USD in reporting ledger.
reporting ledgers. Okay. So it will translate into that uh,
Yeah, it
other
will
ledger.
parallelly replicate in reporting ledger.
Okay. So what is translation?
Translation is when you translate the balance from one currency to another currency.
So can we replace reporting currency with a translation? For example, you told we are converting one currency to other currency. So same things is doing also. Translation is doing same thing, right?
No, translation will do only for the balance. Reporting currency can do from the journal level.
Right, correct. So that was my question. Yeah, what is the difference between reporting currency ledger and translation? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is revaluation?
What is it?
Revaluation.
Revaluation.
Yeah. You know, there is a concept called revaluation in GL.
I'm not sure.
Okay, you can check that
Yeah.
because
Yeah. I'll check on that.
it's very important functionality. Most of the
Okay.
people use. Just I'll give some hint, like whenever you are uh, like doing transaction in foreign currency. For example,
Mm-hmm.
January past you have purchased something
Hmm.
and the currency exchange rate
Oh,
is
okay. Now I think I know. So revaluation is like you have bought something in a foreign currency, and then your payment date is future date. So for today, the when you convert the currency, it's of different money that you have to pay, and or your due date is a little farther. So what you do is you run the revaluation, and then and before paying, and then you pay it to know if you have really gained or lost. You have a loss on the conversion. Is that right?
so once you run revaluation, can
Mm-hmm.
you Where is that difference will go? The
In
variance,
the variance gain, variance loss.
loss account, right? In this revaluation journal entry line,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like how it looks like, is there any impact on the entered currency balance?
Not in the entered currency balance.
Then which amount will be impacted on that?
The payment currency.
Accounted currency. So once you run the revaluation or any foreign currency, you will get two figures, right? One is entered currency and one is accounted currency.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, any approval process you worked, journal approval?
I have not worked, but I have some knowledge on that.
Okay. Can you give one scenario? Uh,
Maybe for invoice approval or something, if you have to uh, say if you want to approve, if you want to make a manager approve only till 10,000 and above 10,000, it should be a super manager. Then you go to BPM, and then you have if else condition, and you have to say if um, the amount is 10K, then and you have to give that approval list.
okay. Do you know the participant types? How many participant types in a BPM approval room? You know what is participant?
A single parallel, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yeah. Parallel and other one serial.
Serial, yeah.
Serial. Right. Okay. So my requirement is that whenever I create a journal, it will go to a bunch of approvers. Suppose there are 5 approvers, it will go at the same time, it will go to all the approvers, but any one of the approver is approving, then it will be approved. What kind of participant I can do? Use
You can use parallel.
parallel, right?
Yeah.
You know how many list builders are available in BPM?
No.
You know what is list builder?
Uh, a list builder in the sense it will give you when you select then option, then it will give you
Hmm.
um
Like give you how you are going to manage the approval flow, right? The
yeah,
result section. The
the
result.
options. Yeah.
So there will
Yeah.
be 5, 6 list builder options like based on supervisory hierarchy, right? Supervisory hierarchy. One is job based on position or approval groups.
Okay. Okay.
What based on that list builder, then your BPM approval workflow will work.
Okay.
For example, if you are using the approval group, then the participant will be parallel always.
Okay.
If you are using the serial, then you have to use the job or position based. Like
Hmm.
position based, there will be based on position, it will go to one stage, then second stage, and third
Okay.
stage. Based on your organizational hierarchy, the approval will flow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Soon, AP, how much you rate?
AP, I can say 7.
7. Okay. So, what are the best, ma'am? In AP, what happens? I'm creating the payment accounting. Okay. I created the invoices.
Mm-hmm.
I have validated everything. But when I'm going to make the, I have payment is completed. But when I'm getting the payment accounting,
Mm-hmm.
it is not accounting. I'm getting error. Like you cannot account the payment. What can be the issue?
Maybe the period is not open.
The period is open, but when I'm triggering the payment accounting, I'm getting error that you cannot account the payment.
You cannot account the payment.
Yeah.
For AP. So maybe is that account not defined?
No. Everything is defined. So here the issue is invoice is not accounted. If the related invoice is not accounted, then payment, you cannot account the payment.
Okay, okay.
So that is real time issue. Sometimes this happens.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So now another questions like you have two legal entity. So you have
Okay.
a bank account, and from that bank account, you are paying for the other legal entity which is not owning any bank account. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
You have legal entity A which already have a bank account, but legal entity B has not any bank account. But you want to pay from the legal entity 2 for the legal entity 2 with the bank defined for legal entity A. Is it possible?
You can pay through check.
No, no. Can I, if I pay that, what will be the impact?
If you pay through bank
Yeah. Meaning I
from
have
legal
one bank
entity.
account, but I have two legal entities. But first legal entity is assigned to the bank, but second one, they don't have any bank account. But I created an invoice for the second legal entity, and I want to pay from the first bank legal entity, like bank account which is assigned to the first legal entity. Is it possible?
No.
Why?
Because legal entity, I think you.
There is one, but the business unit is same.
Oh, then
Business
you can
unit
do that.
assigned to the same business unit.
Okay, then I think you can pay.
You can pay, right?
Yeah.
Is there any accounting impact? Because legal entity has balancing
Yes,
segment,
because
right?
the balancing segment will change, right?
Okay, so I have created the invoice for the legal entity 2, right? Suppose the
Yeah.
balancing segment is 102, but my legal entity 1, the
Is
payment cash
101.
account, bank cash account is 101. Then when I will make the payment, then the payment line, cash line will be 101, and the other line for the legal entity is 102.
102.
How will the manage? It will imbalance the entry, right?
Yeah. I don't know how they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understood the problem, but I don't know the answer.
Yeah. So this is coming to picture pooled account. When you are
Pardon?
defining the bank account, there is a option called pooled account.
Pooled account, huh?
Yeah, you can go to the bank account and check the control section, control tab.
Okay.
If you enable that pooled account checkbox,
Okay.
then your bank account will be shared with multiple legal entity and accounting will not be impacted.
Okay.
Even if the cash account is 101 balance sheet segment, automatically when you are making payment for other legal entity, it will change. During the payment accounting, it will change.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so do you know the mass addition process?
In fixed assets?
Yeah.
Yeah, mass addition. Yeah.
How the AP invoice lines will create the asset?
When you give the account as an asset account in the invoice, it automatically realizes it's an asset and it transfers to fixed assets.
Asset account?
Or yeah, you have to give the asset account
Asset
when you
account
select the
or asset
account
clearing account?
combination or asset clearing account. When you give the combination, it will automatically take you there. Or you also have the option in the invoice line to check that as a fixed asset.
Okay, so I have created the invoice. I validated. I am running the mass addition process. I have the clearing account in the invoice, but asset line is not creating. What can be the issue?
Maybe we did not link the asset and the bank account, asset clearing account when we created the asset.
Where to link? But what you said that in AP, when you are using the asset clearing account, then this invoice will be eligible to create it as an asset, right?
Yes, but
I
that
have
the
done
asset
everything.
has to the asset category. When you create the asset category, I think you have to link this asset.
I have linked that. I have linked all the category information. But still, when I'm running the mass addition process, that asset line is not creating.
The only way that it cannot get linked is the bank asset clearing account asset should be linked. Only then the AP can recognize that it's an asset, and then
Any steps is missing actually before mass addition process. When you create the invoice, any other steps missing, which is mandatory to create the asset from invoice line.
okay. You're asking me mandatory
Yeah,
fields?
yeah, yeah. Any steps is missing. So the answer will be it is not accounted and post to GL. So before you run the mass addition process, it's mandatory that invoice should be
Okay.
post to GL.
Okay.
So if you don't run the final accounting, you cannot create asset.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So what will be the entry then when suppose you have created the asset?
Okay.
What will be the entry? Can you tell me what is the entry in AP invoice level and what will be the entry in asset?
Um, for asset, it will be asset clearing account to asset cost, I think.
What will be the entry in AP? First tell me.
AP will be asset clearing account will be
Okay, so
just a second. I'm trying to refer. Just
meeting
give me a moment.
meeting will end in 1 minute. So you can rejoin the same link and join.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I was just studying about that yesterday.